What is up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back. I'm the Jay Sloan, and I'm back here to do another video for you guys today. Today's date is August 19th, 2020, and I'm back here with another MailTime video. This is my MailTime number 31, and in this MailTime, we're going to have a huge Scream Factory haul. Now, what I did was I picked up some Scream Factories that I was missing out on, and you guys know I love Scream Factory, I love Arrow, I love Vinegar Syndrome, I love Vestron. There's so many horror companies I really love, and I think they release great horror titles, and they give them the full treatment, and Scream Factory is probably at the top of the mountain for me, with Arrow being a little behind. I go back and forth because the releases are so good, but these are releases that I wasn't able to pick up upon their release, so I waited a little bit, but I found all of them on eBay for a very, very good price, and I knew at some point I would have to have these. Now, my Scream Factory collection is not complete. I still pick up some from past releases to new releases. I actually have a bunch more Scream Factory titles coming in. One big one that everyone knows, the Friday the 13th collection that I had to pre-order when it was released, which will be coming in. Actually, from now to October, I've got a bunch of stuff, just pre-orders and different things coming in. So there'll be a lot of MailTime videos, a lot of reviews and things like that. So this is the first package out of 3 or 4 that I think is coming in from eBay, all Scream Factory titles. So this video is going to cut and jump from day to day because I don't know when they'll all get here, but I wanted to film this because I have to open this up, and I know what's inside this box. I already opened it just to check because I share an eBay account with someone. I wanted to make sure it was mine and not theirs. So it is mine, and yeah, I can't wait to show you guys what's inside the box. So let's, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show you guys. Now, I want to say that the seller packaged this really well, and that's always a good thing. So here it is, guys, and it is the marvelous The Fly collection. Beautiful artwork there. Look at that, guys. So many good films, and in such a nice package. Now, what I like about Scream Factory and their collections, most of them anyway, they are housed in individual cases, which I like. I think that's a proper way to do a horror set. Now, there are horror sets that have different packaging, and it's not that bad, but this one I like the individual cases, like with the Halloween set, the Friday the 13th set. Now, there's a couple I'm missing, like the Omen. I'm also missing, I've got the Amityville horror set, I'm missing the Omen, I'm missing the Critter set. There's a few that I'm missing, the Wreck set, but I knew I had to get this one when I saw it for a decent price. So that is The Fly. What we're going to do now is take a quick cut, and I'm going to show you guys what's inside the Fly collection. Okay, so here it is, a once-over of the Fly collection, completely unboxed. It is a beautiful collection, guys. Look at the back here. My goodness. Wow. The artwork, some of their artwork, man, never ceases to amaze me. Some of it's kind of lackluster, but most of it's just really, really fucking top-notch. Love that. It's just a beautiful, I just love the color of it too. So glad to have this collection. So now that we've seen the outside of the box, what I'm going to do really quick to save a little time is go ahead and show you in case you want to see the special features and all the contents, and then we'll take a look at the Blu-rays that you get in the set. As you can see there, if you want to pause, I'm not going to go over everything, but there are loads and loads of special features, so you are more than welcome to pause if you would like. The runtime at the bottom for all those, and these little inserts always tend to keep. You don't need to technically, but I keep them anyway. But yeah, let me just move my finger there, and you can pause it if you'd like to. So the first Blu-ray that you get here is, of course, the original The Fly from 1958, starring Vincent Price, Patricia Owens, David Hedison. Now, the thing about this movie, I've never actually seen the original The Fly. I've heard people rave about it. I've heard people just kind of say it was, so-so, but not as good as the Cronenberg, not even really remake, but reimagining, if you will. But I'm super psyched to check this one out. Yeah, you get one disc with this. No reversible artwork, but you do get inside artwork here. Now, the difference between this and the remake, from what I've heard, is that it's basically, there is a scientist within the film, but he changes his head with a fly, and then his head goes on the body of a fly, and so on and so forth. But I've heard it's, a lot of kids would probably find it kind of lackluster because it is a film from '58. Most kids can't even deal with horror films from the '70s and '80s. The pacing is just not for them. But me personally, I do like films from the '50s and '60s. I like old black and white films. I'm not. I don't have a doctorate in it. I'm not really familiar with everything from the '50s. Really, '70s through the '80s, even into the '90s, is really, kind of my wheelhouse because that's the horror films I grew up with. But yeah, definitely cannot wait to check out The Fly. So the second film you get in the set is Return of the Fly, which once again is starring Vincent Price and also Brad Halsey. This one was made in '59, and I've not seen this one either, so I'm going to be going into this one blindly as well. I got this set. I really love the Fly, the Cronenberg film, obviously. The Cronenberg reimagining, remake, whatever you want to call it. Every other movie contained in this set I've not seen. So any of the Fly movies besides David Cronenberg's I have not seen. So it's going to be going into it, with fresh eyes. That's one reason I got it. Yeah, to upgrade the '86 Fly, but also to really check out these films that I've not really got to see yet. So Return of the Fly, that is the next one in the set. Next here we have The Curse of the Fly, which I have heard is probably the weakest out of The Fly and Return of the Fly. But outside of that, I don't really know too much about it either. But yeah, I should The Curse of the Fly and show you the inside here. I'm not sure if I showed the inside of that one, but it also has one disc, no reversible artwork, but it does have inside imagery there behind the disc and in the back there. So The Curse of the Fly, yeah, don't know anything about it. Looking forward to checking it out. So next up here we have probably one of my favorite horror remakes of all time. Even though it's not that much of a remake, it's more of a reimagining, re-envisioning, I guess you could say. And that is the 1986 film, the David Cronenberg film starring Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, and that is The Fly. And what I love about this movie so much is not only that the practical effects are outstanding, the acting is just superb, but also if you think about it, it's a bottle film. It's bottled together really nicely. You only really follow 3 characters throughout the duration of the movie, and it's a love story. It's a love triangle basically at the end of the day. But it's just so fucking good, man. Jeff Goldblum as Seth Brundle Fly. I mean, it's outstanding. One of my favorite horror films of all time. Definitely up there. And it's great with body horror as well. Just like I said, the effects, the disintegration of Seth, everything involved with this movie is a masterpiece. This is going to be one that I'm going to be reviewing soon, and may actually be talking about on another channel, not a new channel, but a familiar one. So stay tuned for that. On the inside here, we have one disc, and then I think behind that we have the cool scene of him, the room turning scene that they've done in a lot of different films. They did it in Nightmare on Elm Street. They've done it in a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, really cool. Love this movie, man, The Fly. If you haven't seen this one, I can definitely recommend checking out the 1986 The Fly. And the last thing that the set comes with is The Fly 2 from 1989, Like Father, Like Son. I've never seen this, but it's starring Eric Stoltz, and I think he's a really good actor. I've enjoyed him in just about everything I've seen him in. He's no Marty McFly, so I'm glad Michael J. Fox got that. But he's been in some really good movies. And like I said, he's kind of an underrated actor, honestly. So I'm looking forward to seeing The Fly 2, Like Father, Like Son. The tagline just lets me expect. Obviously, he's probably Seth Brundle's son. We'll see where it goes. I've heard some people love it, some people hate it. It's kind of a mixed bag. So The Fly 2, comment down below. Let me know what I should be expecting with that one. Yeah, The Fly 2, here's the one disc. And yeah, that is all the films that the set contains. So this is the first pickup, the first of 3 to show off in this MailTime number 31 Scream Factory haul. So thank you guys so much for watching the first part. I'll leave you with this image, and I'll probably see you guys back here. It'll be a day or so for me, but a few seconds for you. Okay guys, welcome back to part 2, day 2 of my MailTime number 31 video. In the first part, I said I had 2 more Scream Factory titles that was coming in the mail, and I just received both of them today. I received one over the weekend, and the second one didn't arrive until I got home from work, so I figured I would go ahead and shoot this video real quick and try to get it up for you guys. And I don't want to take up too much of your time because I already took up quite a bit of it showing the Fly collection. That was a beautiful collection. And now we're just going to dive in. And the first thing that I have here, when I saw this Scream Factory title, when I saw that it was announced, I knew I was going to get it. And I really don't know why I'm so late to the party on picking it up. But I knew I had to get it with the slipcover, and I finally found it for a good price. This is not only one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations, based off of a novella by him called Cycle of a Werewolf. This is one of my favorite werewolf films of all time, period, too. It's a werewolf film that I think really capitalizes, and it really it improves the story to another level, where you're really not just thinking about the werewolf. The werewolf is kind of a backdrop to a much larger coming of age and coming to terms story with who you are. And this film is starring Corey Haim, Gary Busey, Everett McGill, among others, and it is the 1985 classic Silver Bullet. So Silver Bullet is one of those horror films that does just about everything right, in my opinion. I feel the story is handled with so much care. The actors themselves were casted perfectly. The writing was great. The dialogue was on point. I love the ominous feel to the movie, and I love the darkness that surrounds it. You have a werewolf who has a justification and an ideology. Being a preacher in the film, he seems to justify his actions as good deeds or doing right by the Lord and doing what he has to do, which you will never see with another werewolf. And it's just amazing to see. Are the effects the best? No. You'll probably see some better effects in other werewolf films if you go searching. But it's not even fully about the werewolf. Like I mentioned before, it's that coming of age story, and it's coming to terms with being confined to something. In Marty's case, it's being confined to his wheelchair. In Red's case, it's being confined to an addiction and mistakes that you've made in the past, and not letting that get to you. And the main thing is not giving up. And you can really overcome things. And that's what I love about the movie. I love just the chemistry. You really buy Gary Busey's Uncle Red has this love and this affection for his nephew that can't be broken. They play that really well. You buy the chemistry between Marty and his big sister. She was a great actress, and she really played that well. It's also a detective story, whodunit, trying to figure out who is killing these kids, who's basically wiping out the town, and you have the lynch mob scene where everybody's going out. That's a crazy scene. It's everything wrapped into one. And it's just such a perfect werewolf movie, in my opinion. I could go on and on about it for days, but I won't. So this cover that you see here it represents the film beautifully. Over here in the middle, obviously, you have I'm just going to call him Everett McGill's werewolf there. And you have the firework in his eye. You have the one good eye. Down below that, you have Marty on the Silver Bullet being chased by Everett McGill with the moon in the background. You guys know I'm a sucker for moons. Over there, a very small image in the right-hand corner, you have the note that is written to the pastor toward the end of the film. Above that, you also have some of the characters going out into the middle of the night to search for the killer. Above that, you have the dream sequence scene where he dreams that everyone is turning into a werewolf. And then up at the top there, you have the bloody kite that is floating in the wind. Part human, part wolf, total terror. On the back here, you have some special features. You have a new audio commentary with producer Martha D. Laurinaitis, new interview with actor Kent Broadhurst, new interview with editor Daniel Lowenthal, audio commentary with director Daniel, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, sorry, isolated score selections and audio interview with composer Jay Chataway, interview with actor Everett McGill, interview with special effects artists Matthew Mungle and Michael McCracken, theatrical trailer, TV spot, still gallery, and there you guys go. That is the full release of the Scream Factory Silver Bullet. You also have the reversible artwork as comes as per usual with most of the Scream Factory releases. Okay, so now that Silver Bullet is out of the way, if you haven't seen Silver Bullet and you're looking to find a great werewolf film, I still feel to this day the movie is a tad bit underrated and deserves a little more love, but it does have its cult following, so Silver Bullet, one of my favorites. I'm going to go ahead and open the knife, see what we got in here, even though I know. I tried the new format with the Silver Bullet by kind of giving my synopsis, my brief thoughts over the film while also showing the release a little bit more in depth. Hopefully you like that. That's probably what I'm going to be doing from here on out. Makes a little more sense to me, and I can show you guys, can kill two birds with one stone. I can show you guys the release and talk about it and get everything out of the way. So this is packaged very nice. It's just weird that it's such a big box. I'm not complaining. It's got tons of bubble wrap in here. Okay. Let's just... Oh, yeah. Here we go, guys. One of my favorite horror remakes of all time. When I think about the big three in the 80s, of course, I'm thinking about The Thing, The Fly, and, of course, The Blob, which is still sealed. Look at that, guys. The Blob from '88. Love this movie, man. Love it. Here we go. I actually forgot that this was still sealed. I thought that it was used, but it's not. It's actually sealed. This was the one that was unpackaged already, but in good condition, as you can see. Oh, man. Super happy to have this one in. Sorry, just kind of blown. I love the cover art here. Yeah, The Blob from '88. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to open it real quick, and then we'll take a quick look at it, and I'll kind of give you guys my thoughts like I did with Silver Bullet. So, yeah, again, really late to the party on picking up The Blob. I have it on DVD. You know, I double dip on quite a few things, but at least with some of these releases, I can say, hey, I only got them on DVD, like Silver Bullet. I only have it on DVD. The Blob, I only have it on DVD. So it definitely deserved an upgrade. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open it, guys, and let's go ahead and talk about The Blob. Okay, so here we have The Blob, made in 1988, directed by Chuck Russell, starring Kevin Dillon, Shawnee Smith, Donovan Leitch, Jeffrey DeMunn, and many more. And this is one of the big three, as I mentioned. And much like The Thing and The Fly, I've actually never seen the original to compare, contrast, and really examine what the differences are. I'm sure The Blob is a hell of a lot more, the remake is a hell of a lot more fantastical than the original. And it's very, very 80s, but in a good way. You can never have too much 80s in my mind. This was really toward the end of the 80s, 88, so end of the 80s, leading into the 90s, and it just had that vibe to it. Now, what I love about this one, whereas The Thing is very isolated, it's very self-contained, this one really feels like it's all over the fucking place. Anybody, everybody, men, women, children are all in danger from the Blob. The Blob will eat anything and everyone, and it does. This movie has a lot of balls and fucking amazing practical effects. There's something about alien beings that really get under my skin, no pun intended, and creep me out, and this one is no exception. The acting is very believable. Is it a little cheesy? Yes, but is that a bad thing? Hell no. I've always loved The Blob. It's been several years since I've actually seen it, so I'm really, really psyched to rewatch this film and give it another watch for sure. I've always loved it. Loved it when I was a kid, and a lot of those memories still stick true. Once I rewatch it, I'll definitely be doing a review, so check that out. So here we have on the front cover, I love the pink that is surrounding, and it looks like all the arms and all of the bodies that have interacted with the Blob. As you can see, you have our two leads in the middle on the bike there. You have the people in the hazmat suits. You have everything on this cover, and I love the coloring of it. Terror has no shape. You look on the back here, and here are all the special features. New audio commentary with director Chuck Russell, cinematographer Mark Irwin, special effects artist Tony Gardner, moderated by filmmaker Joe Lynch. New audio commentary with actress Shawnee Smith. New interviews with Chuck Russell, production designer Craig Stearns, special effects artist Chris Gilman, actors Ricky Paul Godwin, Donovan Leitch, Bill Moseley, and more. Audio commentary with Chuck Russell and film producer, film historian Ryan Turek. Isolated score, behind-the-scenes footage, and the theatrical trailer. And you open it up here, and you have that image. I remember seeing that a lot when I was a kid, that The Blob, scream now while there's still no room to breathe. Love that, guys, the reversible artwork there, and it is one disc, of course. Okay, guys, so there you have it. That is my MailTime number 31 over the course of about a week. Just absolutely thrilled to have all of this stuff that I've been meaning to pick up and just not got around to getting. Obviously, these two, both classics. Love Silver Bullet and The Blob. Definitely going to have to rewatch The Blob and give it probably a full-length review, to be honest. And then the Amazing The Fly collection. Happy to have all of this and add it to my collection. It's been my Mail Time 31, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Have more Mail Times planned, a hell of a lot through the month of October. So, yep, I'm the Jay Sloan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, keep it horror. Peace.